Well, good morning, everyone. Come right on in and tell us where you're calling from. And here's a little traveling music for you. All the leaves are brown and the sky is gray. I've been for a walk on a winter's day. I'd be safe and warm if I was in LA. California dreaming, baby, on such a winter's day. Stopped into a church I passed along the way. Well, I got down on my knees and I began to pray. You know, the preacher liked the cold. He knows I'm going to stay. California dreaming, baby, on such a winter's day. Okay, everybody, come on in. Let me double check and make sure we're live on LinkedIn. I'm not seeing any comments yet, but excited to see the comments. They should be rolling in here any minute. Oh, there she is, Michelle. Okay, everything's working. I just wanted to make sure everything was working. Come on in, everybody. Good topic today. All the leaves are brown and the sky is gray. I've been for a walk on a winter's day. If I didn't tell her I could leave today. California dreaming, baby, on such a winter's day. On such a winter's day. On such a winter's day. Good morning, everybody. Who's thinking about California today? Well, think about it. It's 7 a.m. there, 10 o'clock where I am. So, hello, everyone. It is so good to see you. And I want to get myself ready for later. I'm Leslie Flowers. Come on into the house. This is Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. And we are going through 12 weeks that continue of the 13 principles of success in this book right here. Okay. Number 2 bestseller of all times in personal development, second only to the New Testament. And inside this book is the exact roadmap to have anything you want without violating the rights of others. And it's sold millions and billions of copies. So why aren't there millions and billions of millionaires? Good question, huh? Because everybody wants it overnight. People aren't willing to work at it. So for me, I've been at this for 17 years, this particular deep study. And I've been teaching it for 20,000 hours and 65 programs based on a quarterly hybrid program that I've been doing since 2008. But I have 25 years in personal development, a lot of quantum physics, metaphysics, leadership training, transformational training. Love all that stuff. So let me say hello to all of you wonderful people. Good morning, where I am. And I see that Michelle is here. Thank you, Michelle, for being the first. And we have Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Lisa Fevick. Lisa is a registered dietitian, among other things, and advises women during the menopause decades about what to eat to help alleviate over 100 symptoms. I'm glad I didn't know that back then, Lisa. I might have had all 99 of them, right? So thank you so much for being here. Let me see. And good morning. Here's Nicole. Nick. So glad to see you. Thank you. I was trying to decide what song to sing, and I have been practicing. And by the way, they say that singing is good for your heart and your respiration. I don't know much about that, but if anybody does, let us hear from you. All right. So, as people are coming in, I want to thank you so much for being here today. I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're going to go till 10:45 today. Now, there are 3 dots at the bottom of the screen, and you can click that open and click view event details and share if you would like to share this with your community. Absolutely up to you. So Alon is here. Look at this. Oh, yay. Hello, Alon. So glad to see you. Gosh, this I think is 2 weeks in a row, right? Did I see that Jason is here? Oh, my goodness. Hi, Jason. Now, this is a teaching piece. Jason, by the way, has a phenomenal nonprofit called HR for You and also TK Kitchen for Young People. Check him out, Jason Forehand on LinkedIn. And I didn't share with you that Nicole is a publisher and a writer, and she also has a publishing house, Guiding Brilliant Writers, which is so exciting. And so I'm awfully excited to have you all here today. It's taken me 15 years or 16 to figure something out. And it is so monumental for all of us to really understand what are our core beliefs. Now, I've been teaching you how we get information, how beliefs are formed, and based on the 13 principles of success, known as Carnegie's principles of success. This is over the last 100 years. Most all your personal development greats who have made millions have followed this book. And many, many other business people who aren't in personal development. I can't name them right now, but if you can imagine, it's the number 2 bestseller of all time. It has the exact roadmap to become a millionaire if that's what you want to do. And so some people, a small handful of people, will get clear about this and study it. And then they'll study it again. And then they'll study it again. And as you grow in awareness, you start to see new things, don't you? That's why I do this continually. So you can always count on me to do this unless, next Friday I will not be there. This is only the second time in years that I won't be here. I'm part of the oh my God, the virtual learning experience from the 2350 network. It's 2 days, next Friday and Saturday, the 21st and 22nd. It's a telesummit on a very cool Zoom platform. And I'm one of the speakers, and I'll be doing magical manifesting. I am going to show you how to manifest. I'm going to teach you how to alchemize your thoughts. That is, turn your thoughts from thought energy into matter, which is a different form of energy. And that's what we do when we get an idea and we complete it. It's called the transmutation of radiant energy, which is one of the 7 universal laws. So look who's here, Miss Joni Hargrave. Hi, honey, it's Joni. I am so glad I could attend. And hello, Michelle. Perfect. Okay, so this is more, Monday I do Mind Over Matter Mondays, and Nicole Angai Galindo is my co-host. And I will acknowledge everybody. This is a very short presentation and teaching piece because there's a lot here. It's simplified, but there's a lot for you to ponder. Yes, Ashif. Ashif is a thought leader and a poet also, I would say. Now, let's see, where did you disappear to? Thank you for being here, Ashif, and being such a great supporter. And I see faces of people that come every week. This is what's important. We learn in by repetition in spaced intervals over time. Think about when you learned your multiplication tables. Remember? I used to dance around the house 5, 10, 15, 20. Once I figured out the 5 tables and the 10s, 10, 20, 30, as though it was something so special. But you'll notice that we didn't learn the multiplication tables only on Mondays or every other week or only on Fridays. No, it was infused and repeated. Repetition is the first law of learning, and it's also the fourth principle of success, which is auto or self-suggestion. But you did this every day a little bit and repeated and repeated. And so if I ask you right now, what's 6 times 7? Who would be the first one to put the answer? What's 6 times 7? You know this, and you have belief in it. It has so infused into your awareness. It's part of your life. So you don't have to think about it. You don't have to sit down and figure out, oh, 6 times 5 is 30, 6 times 6 is 36, 6 times 7 is 42. No, you got that. I'm not as good at the 12s. Right? So what we've been doing, and this is the final of this 12 weeks, and I'll start another one in 2 weeks. But I want to go over the things that we've been going over very quickly. That's right, Michelle. That's exactly right. And, you knew this. And if you hadn't thought of it, as soon as she said it, you knew it. So this is what happens. You have a perfect belief. You have perfect faith in your ability to recall through memory the answer. This is the magic within this book. And actually, autosuggestion is the shortest principle of all of them. So let me run through really quickly. This is linear learning. And you can always go back and look at the videos, right? And I recommend that each time you attend one of these, or even if you miss it, watch it at least once, if not twice. I guarantee you're going to see things you missed before. Let me just see what our friend, oh, look who's here, Sandra. This is a big week, Sandra. I'm so excited for you. It's a big sacred. I'm not telling anybody, but let me just tell you, by Sunday, Michelle, Sandra might be raising a glass of champagne. Who knows? I might also. So I'm so glad that you're here. And Ashif says, yes, the way you do it is by building faith. That's what your beliefs, as you can see, are 6 basic fears and what we believe. So we can't really see what we believe, but we can tell what we believe by our physical circumstances, because whatever we believe shows up at our door. If we believe we can't get the job, we don't get the job. If we believe we can, we do. And if we don't, a call comes a week later that says that person who got the job left. We'd like to invite you back in. So once you start the ball rolling, using these principles of success and being consistent about it, you don't have to spend your whole day doing it. It's just a little bit each day. So, yeah, let me just see here. With a smidge of OJ. Okay. Oh, look who's here. Hi, Aaron. It's earlier for you and anybody on the West Coast. I know you appreciated California dreaming, and you were probably still dreaming like most people at 7 a.m. Hi, Leanna. So glad to see you. Okay. So let me run through really briefly what the 13 principles are and the linear roadmap to take your idea, and one sound idea is all it takes, from thought energy, that idea, bingo, that comes in through your brain and then into your conscious mind, and you make a decision. Ooh, I want to do this. Ooh, I don't want to do this. You make a decision right there. But then something happens if you've never done it before, if you failed at it before. There's all the second guessing. Your core beliefs, I have discovered, are your basic fears. And we like to ignore our fears. You will hear that fear is false evidence appearing real. It is real. The things that happen to you that build fears, they're real. You have faith in them. You've experienced it. Not only have you experienced it, but you've thought about it over and over and over and over and over again. Okay. So we began without the 13 principles with the introduction. In the introduction is the seedbed. If you don't get the introduction, read it again. Don't move forward until you get the introduction, because it's all about definite purpose. You must understand, in order to perform this magic, this manifestation, this alchemy, there are certain things you have to do. They're not hard, but you must be committed to doing them. And that's why in my 12-week program, I've done it over 65 times, and people do it over and over and over again because their conscious awareness is always growing and they're always seeing new things and they're mastering this process. And that's what a handful of people have done to live a life of wealth, health, and happiness. Now, for me, it's not millions. Do I wish and intend and see myself on the red carpet, right? With my producer and friend Aaron on one arm and Nicole on the other arm, pushing my wheelchair up to the stage to win an Academy Award for the possibility of errata, right? So I do visualize that. And the outcome of that would be a lot of money to make a difference. But money has never been it for me. I've been blessed to have enough somehow to still give back. Maybe not as much as I want, but this work is giving back. The carousel I do each week is giving back. And I feel like the more I do that, the better my life is. I don't know, maybe it's the gratitude to be able to give back. So I'm so glad to see you all chatting. And let's just see one comment here from Sandra. She always has lots of good things to say. That's topic. I agree with Amelie. Our mind doesn't distinguish between reality and the beliefs you keep repeating. Yeah, that's right. Your subconscious. We're in the conscious, and I'm going to show you how to see them and create new. So I think you'll really enjoy this. Whatever you know about core beliefs, that's wonderful. I encourage you to open up and consider what I'm going to share with you today. So thank you for that, Sandra. That was lovely. So first, the introduction, definite purpose, clear, crystal, compelling, almost obsessive. You're in love with it. You don't even know why. You've never done it before. You might have tried it at some point, but you failed. So it has to be something that you've not done before, and you've failed at, because you're going to have to deal with your core beliefs, which are your 6 basic fears. This is what I've discovered. We have perfect faith in our fear. That's why it stops us. But we can get ahead of it. That's what this work is. The more clear we get about what we believe occurs over time, the more willing we are to take action. For me, if I'm confused, I don't do anything. Okay, I do nothing. But as soon as I get some clarity, I'm willing to take an action. Oh, look who's here. Wonderful Felipe Cofino. Hello, Felipe. Felipe is your resident business coach and HR representative, works for PRB, does lots of wonderful hosted. He doesn't do these alone. He has guests. So he has Monday night, 8 o'clock every other week, and he has Sunday morning with Melissa Houston. And so you really want to get to know Felipe. And thank you, Felipe, for being here, because I know you're working. So it's extra special that you're here. For those who have full-time positions and they still come here, I love that. And welcome, Annie. Annie is the godfather of LinkedIn audio, which could be video, because you get to choose whether you're going to be on camera or not. Okay. Enough of that for now. All right. So you got your definite purpose. You're in love with this thing. Now, the next thing that you will learn is desire, the starting point of all achievement. Desire is the first principle of success. You cannot build desire if you don't have your definite purpose. Remember? So read the introduction 2-3 times until you get it. What do you want? Why do you want it? What difference is it going to make in the world? Are you afraid? Or do you want it so much that it outshadows the fear? So you can bring fear to its knees, but you've got to understand exactly what it is. This is an explanation, a very simple one, that I have developed after working and studying Bob Proctor's work and being licensed by him, and 10 years before that in many different disciplines in personal development. So there's lots of wonderful things here, and you can always go back and listen again to certain portions. Be sure to put team replay when you do that. Okay, so desire, that's the first thing. Without a definite purpose, you won't fall in love. You have to be so smitten and so in love that you think about it a lot. You don't have to work on it a lot, but you think about it a lot. You visualize it a lot. Then what happens over time, as you do this each day or every other day, you begin to build faith. That's the second principle of success. It's the visualization and belief in the attainment of your desire. Okay, so visualization is something else that I work with quite a bit. And that's how I wrote my book last, The Possibility of Errata. The science fiction was through visualization, the whole thing. I don't think we actually write our own books, people. I really don't. I think that I know we're co-creators, and many authors will tell you that the information is downloaded to us. So then the third principle of success is autosuggestion or self-suggestion, which I mentioned, that we learn in spaced, repetitive intervals over time. Just think about your multiplication tables and how they're set. You have faith in them. And then the next one is specialized knowledge, to ask an expert. Be careful not to tell them what you're doing, because they're an expert and they might tell you another way to do it. You go to the expert or the specialized knowledge only to get the information you need to move forward. But until you start to see the signs that this achievement is coming toward you, don't tell anybody. Unless you have an accountability partner or coach, something like that. People who understand. Because people who don't understand are going to say, well, Leslie, you've never done that before. And it's true. And that brings up my fear, because I don't know how to do it. So be very careful with who you share your goal with. Then we learned imagination, which is the workshop of the mind. And that's where visualization comes in. There's two kinds of imagination. There's creative, when you get that wild idea that you never got before and you're running with it. And then synthetic imagination, which is a sum total of all your experiences. So as soon as you get this wild idea, immediately your mind starts looking for things that could help solve or help you achieve this goal. That's synthetic imagination. But it's the creative imagination that comes from the universe through intuition and imagination, which is in your conscious mind. And then the next one, we don't go into a lot of these, but because they're covered in other ones, but decision is the mastery of procrastination. If you have a definite purpose and you've fallen in love with it and you've been thinking about it and visualizing it, and you start to see things happen, you're going to get offers that will conflict with your goals. So decisions are easy. You simply ask yourself, if I take on this project, will it take me directly toward my goal or not? If it doesn't, don't do it now. One goal, stay focused so that you can track the process, right? I've done 65 of these the same way. That's how many goals I've achieved over 16 years. Some were large, some were not. And then we have persistence, the sustained effort necessary to achieve faith. And remember that faith is when you know that you know that you know it. You may not know how you know it, but you've seen proof, and nobody can knock you off your belief in it. Nobody. And then we have, let's see. Well, last week we did the subconscious mind and the brain, and we've also done the sixth sense, which is intuition. And today we're doing the epilogue, how to outwit the six ghosts of fear. Are you ready? Here we go. Oh, look who's here. Yay, Dr. Marcia, creative and synthetic imagining. Absolutely. As soon as you get the gift from the universe, from God, immediately, this happens automatically. Immediately your mind starts thinking, oh, I've done this. Oh, I've done this. So these are very important. You ready? Here we go. All right, let me make this big. Now, you've seen this before, but this is to help you just get a visual image of the process. So it's not about disagreeing. It's more about evaluating to see with what you already know. You know a ton, right? So this is going to expand your awareness and reduce your fears. So we get information there. You see the antenna here? Let me check the time. Okay, we're good. These are your five senses. So into the brain, you get this information, and immediately it goes into your conscious mind, where we are right now. We're thinking, it's present. We have conscious awareness. Now, you may not have known this, but there are 6 mental muscles that you are actually developing when you come here every Friday and when you attend Monday. Because my intention is to develop your understanding of perception. It's different for everybody, and it's always changing. Think about that. When you learn new things, you view things differently. So this business about being sure that you're right about everything or they're wrong is ludicrous. What are you going to talk about if you're not making someone wrong or making yourself right or wrong, or right? Because you're all right from your current point of view, but it's not static. When you came into this room, you had a certain understanding of core beliefs and your fears, all valid, right? It's your research. You're going to see something here you've not seen before. Or if you have, you'll see it in a whole new way. So that's what you're looking for. And then take the things that make sense to you, the things that are confusing, ask a question. Ask a question. If anything is confusing, I will answer you. Okay, so in your conscious mind, you've got these 6 mental muscles: perception, imagination, intuition, memory, reason, and will to focus. Most of my clients over the last 17 years says their biggest problem is their lack of focus and concentration. And no wonder. We live in a sensory overload world. We multitask. We interrupt our thought processes and waste time. We think it feels good and we do get things done, but we've dissipated our ability to focus. That's why 1 goal, not 4. Usually nothing gets done when there are 4. But 1, not only can you focus on it and redevelop your ability to concentrate, but now you're tracking the steps that you took so you can repeat it. You've heard trust the process. You've heard there's a process. So this is the process that millions of people have used, but only a handful have achieved and stuck with it. And I've stuck with it. Are you perfect? Heck no. Do you still have fears? Heck yes. Okay. So those are the 6 mental, intellectual faculties that we're building to outwit and outshadow our fears. Now, what we learn through repetition is impressed into our subconscious mind. So when you have a bad experience or a good experience, it eventually embeds into the subconscious mind where it lives like the truth. This is where your beliefs are about life, about your self-worth. And the thing is, you can't reject it from here. You can reject anything from the conscious mind. You can leave the room, turn off the computer. So you have the ability, once it comes in as thoughts in your conscious mind, you can accept or reject it. Now, today, I hope that you will simply observe and accept the things that make sense to you, that fit your understanding of what core beliefs are. The whole purpose is out of confusion comes clarity. And you're going to reach different levels of clarity as you become more proficient and you study deeper in whatever you are providing as a heart-centered service. So now, let us take a look at the subconscious mind. It doesn't think. It's emotional, it's reactive, and it includes all your fears. It does include one other faith for many of us, that if you have an undying faith in God, spirit, or the universe, you're sure nobody could convince you if they started talking now and it lasted a month. Your faith in God or the universe is also in your subconscious, but it's not strong enough when you get an idea to battle against these 6 basic fears. Now, if you have any questions, let me know. Hello, Charito. Charito, gosh. Okay, it's 10:30 at night in the Philippines. Thank you for being here. I know that this is when you usually go to sleep, so thanks, Charito. And here's something Ashif says. Satisfaction lies in the effort, not the attainment. Full effort is full victory. Attainment is the journey itself. Well, that's an absolute fair point. Fair point. Absolutely. Okay, so these are the 6 fears. Now, here they are: poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death. I see you love it. Thank you. Glad you like it. Now, let me show you something that you haven't seen. Oops, I gotta do this over here. Now, look. I want you to visualize yourself as the CEO of your life. But look at who your board members are. How do you know what they're saying? You think you have one voice of fear, you have 6. They're your board members. How did they get there? Through repetition. So let's just take a look at this first one, poverty. Now, the other day, I'm part of Power Thinking Corp with Stanley Green, and our work aligns very nicely. And he had us watch a video. What does it mean, these fears? So I want to share with you another fold into these fears. So these people are advising you. You get a new idea as the CEO. Poverty. What have you heard frequently? If you lose your job, you don't have money. Wait till the income tax comes in, the return comes in. We can't afford it. I'm not sure how we'll make ends meet. These are things that you've heard all your life. So it's a lack of an abundant or wealth mindset. The only people that don't have this are people that are born into wealth, such as Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Those are the first 2 that come to mind, but you know they didn't hear, well, I'm sorry, Donald, but we just can't afford to get you those new shoes. And Elon's mother didn't say, you'll have to wait until Christmas for that bicycle. We've all had this. So What does it mean? It means I can't afford it. So if you get an idea about about money, and that you want a lot of money to be a philanthropist, whatever your reason is to do good things, that voice, remember there are 6 of them, and they're all in a cacophony trying to tell you how to think. So poverty is that you just can't afford it. And so most of our really wonderful ideas we toss out. But many of you know my story. When I started being certified with Bob Proctor in 2008, the price was so high that I marked it as not possible. But they had built a definite purpose for me and built a way for me to fall in love with this work. And honestly, I just stopped thinking about the money, because they said $16,000. You might as well have said $160,000. But I wanted to do this so much that I simply stopped thinking about poverty, that I couldn't afford it. So all of my energy and vibration went into the tasks they had given me. And sure enough, 4 months after and 2 months before I went for the training, I got a call. We sold stock off. Here's your check. Had no clue. No clue. Now, the next one is the fear of criticism. Well, what does that mean? Well, you've never done that before, Leslie. That's what my daughter said when I wanted to open a chocolate company in the mountains of North Carolina, right around 2002 or 3. Without realizing it, she said, Mama, you don't know anything about chocolate or a company. And it shut me down. My fears of being criticized. My dad graduated high school at 15, Cooper Union Engineering at 18, and was a genius, and I could never measure up. I could never get it the way he wanted me to. So the fear of criticism, well, if I stick my neck out there, will I be humiliated? Will I be embarrassed? Right? If you were a kid and you were laughed at in front of the class in school, basically what it says is that you're not smart enough. Do not do this again. It's humiliating and it feels really bad. So now you got 2 board members. You get an idea as the CEO of your own life, and you've already got 2 people squawking. Well, Leslie, you can't afford it. And also, you've never done it before. You've tried something and you failed miserably. Are you sure you want to do that? The next one is ill health. Well, what does that mean? Well, we've all experienced COVID, people around us dying. We know about ill health. We are afraid of it. It was embedded into our subconscious to be fearful about it. I mean, there are still people walking by themselves with masks or driving alone with masks. Maybe it's a habit, but it could be the fear of catching something. It's very real. So now you got 3 people poo-pooing your idea. Now the next one is a loss of a loved one. Whether they die, whether someone breaks up with you, you have a difficulty with a friend, someone you love disappears, you disappear, right? So the fear of loss of a love, we've all experienced. We've been broken up with. It's miserable, right? So these things are instilled through repetition and they're built. You have perfect faith in these things because this has happened to you. It's happened to all of us. So, but God in the universe smart enough and knew that we were smart enough to figure this out. And that's what we're doing here. I want you to be clear that these subconscious beliefs, these core beliefs, and you can create new ones, and that's the work that I do, but we're looking at what we have right now. We've all experienced these. So you get an idea, maybe you should go out with this person, maybe you should marry them, but fear stops you because you've been hurt. But if the love and the definite purpose is stronger, you will do it. Then, of course, old age. So now there's the 5th board member. Well, you're really getting old. You should be afraid. And you look around and you see your grandmothers and great-grandmothers getting old. And I used to see ladies with blue hair, little curly white hair that almost looked blue. They're younger than me. I was determined not to be a blue-haired old lady. I just wasn't going to do it. But you could see that people are afraid of old age and, of course, death, right? So what you want to know is that you can fire every one of them one at a time. How do you do that? The way that you create belief again in your ability and deservability to do something that you were afraid of, or you failed at, or you've never done before, and you're just in fear of the unknown. Once you complete it, you've disproven the fear. You do have the ability and the deservability to achieve something that you were afraid of or didn't know how to do. But once is not enough. These fears have been dominating us. You got 6 voices. You got the voice of God as the CEO, and then you got these yutzes, right? Stopping you from doing everything based on your core beliefs. You believe these things because you've experienced them. So we have to create new beliefs. It takes time. So that's why there's only a handful of people. But I want you to see that this is what's happening here. So I want to go back, see if I can. Yes. So understand that the information came in that you weren't smart enough. You could get sick. Someone could break up with you multiple times. You got a D on the test, whatever it is. You didn't get into college. Lots of failures. And we know now that failure is learning, right? We do know this. So once repetitively it enters the subconscious mind, you don't see it. You can't reject it. But that voice dominates your higher side. Only one of those voices will prevail. Which is stronger? Your fears are. So our work is to develop our conscious awareness, agile thinking, being able to recognize, oh, this is one of those board members. This is one of the fears. The fear of poverty, you can't afford it. Well, Leslie couldn't afford it. They told her $16,000 and she got 20. How is that possible? Because my definite purpose and deep love was in service to others, because this work is helping others become more aware. So all of these things can be won over. It just takes time. Let me just see what, hey, Lee, so glad you're here. Think about internal family systems theory according to psychology. Very cool. Hey, drop a link in the comments so that we can take a look at that, so I can take a look at it. I would love it. And thank you for being here. And a little humor. Yet says, yes, we have enough negative voices, right? So look, whether you're the manager of a grocery store or an office, or you're the CEO of a business, or you're the head of a family, it doesn't matter. Whenever you go to do something, one of those 6 fears is going to squawk. And when you do this work in spaced repetitive intervals over time, you grow in conscious awareness of your infinite potential. And you learn something new every time because you're always growing. You start to see things from a 30,000-foot view, which I love. So let me see if there are any questions, because I want to complete. We're going to go a minute or two over. Okay, so everything good? You got the message? Everybody, I hope you love this. We have faith in our fears. They're real and they're stronger than our higher side. So it's incumbent upon us to continue doing this work and learning as much as we can. The things that resonate with you, take them. The things that don't, let them go. They may show up later. Okay. Starting Sunday, you, my friends, can buy the audiobook, The Possibility of Errata. And I ask that because we're in a boycott until the 14th, and then on the 15th is a book launch that I want to promote. So I'm on Amazon. So I am asking that if you would like this. And by the way, I recorded it and Aaron Gibson produced it. It is luscious Felipe. You will love it. Okay. So, and then No on Mondays at 10 a.m. Eastern with Nicole and I, we have Mind Over Matter Mondays where we talk about character development. And I wanted to show you this. Let's see how I can do this. Interesting. I don't know if I can. Let me just say, I'm not going to play this. Well, I could play it. Let me just play this and you can see the words. So for the audiobook, this is the promo. The trailer was done by Aaron Gibson. The word and the music also. This is new AI music. I love it. Let me see if I can move myself. Can I move myself over here? I don't know if you can hear me if I do this. All right. I've got a little trouble here with, let me just see if this is. Okay, I hope you can hear me. I don't know that you can, but let's go ahead and play it anyway. Here we go. What kind of love can transcend time in a breath and feel as fresh as the sun's morning dew? Love that lives forever in between the spaces of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. At once, forever. Safe among from tell inspiration and obsessive likeness. Two hearts swim through eons of time, one with wings and other with vision of a place and space where life is honored and entwined together. Isn't this pretty? Souls connect forever when achieving errata. Soft space for Lee and Van, star-crossed lovers. A love built on love of life over time and forever. So this was a dream come true for me because all those girls you see there, they're all me at 17. Aaron took me from my age now back to the 17-year-old pistol that I was and still am. And I'm grateful. Souls connect forever when achieving errata. A soft space for Lee and Van, star-crossed lovers. A love built on love of life over time and forever. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Oh yeah, I want to get this last little bit. This is all created from visualization and imagination. This is something that you can do as well. I encourage you to dream big and to take this lesson today, my friends, and realize that you are the CEO. So go ahead and do it. Reach out to me if you need a few words of support. Once you've done it, you will have created perfect faith and belief in your ability and deservability to live the life you've dreamed of. Have a beautiful weekend. I'm so honored that you're all here. Ooh, hi, Samzi. So glad you made it. I've missed seeing you so much. So glad you're here. So go out, everybody. Make it a beautiful day and weekend. Keep in mind that we have a full moon, a blood moon in Virgo under Aries. It means it's a perfect day for manifesting your dreams. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Thank you for staying an extra few minutes. I always love seeing you.